Hello everyone, I'm Rachel. Welcome all to Executive Corner Expert Talks. We have 10 minutes roundup with Mr. Geoff Ward, CEO and Managing Director of the Hazer Group. We bring you industry leaders, successful business owners, market and equity advocates, all under one roof to help you discover the insights of the stock market and help you understand how one can create multiple passive income streams. In today's show, we have Mr. Geoff Ward, CEO and Managing Director of the Hazer Group. Welcome, Geoff. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Now, in the past few years, we've seen a rising consensus towards transitioning to a carbon neutral economy among policymakers. Industries, power and transportation contribute significantly towards carbon emissions. How do you see the transition phase shape up in the coming years across the globe?
Well, the last year has certainly been a real watershed, real landmark moments for the transition to low carbon economies. We've seen net zero emissions by 2050 pledges come from Japan, Korea, the European Union, and the US, and sort of very strong climate policy from China also. So we've certainly seen a major change. And that change is now also spreading beyond what would be the easier to decarbonise areas, renewable energy into building efficiency. We've done a lot of good work reducing carbon through easy to abate sectors. And now we're getting into heavy transport, heavy industry, and the second half of the power industry. And so we're seeing a great push now to take action on those areas which have been deferred earlier.
And Prime Minister Scott Morrison announced the investment of $539.2 million back in April to develop hydrogen and carbon capture projects, saying he wants Australia and hydrogen technology to be synonymous around the world. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for Australia, but we really need to get behind it. And so, as well as sort of the great work being done by our universities and our researchers, we really need to start using hydrogen. So Australia's got a great opportunity to be a producer and exporter. We've got abundant wind and solar resources for green hydrogen. We've got abundant gas for sort of blue or turquoise hydrogen. But we've also got a great opportunity to be a hydrogen user. This time around, we have to be a user, not just a producer. So the long haul transport is a great place where we could be using hydrogen to replace diesel. But most importantly, for the next wave of big industry, green steel, green chemicals, that's going to rely on abundant supplies of low-cost green hydrogen. And Australia is well positioned to actually be a major producer and manufacturer in those areas if we really get after it.
Hazer is strongly placed in the industry to cater to hydrogen and battery storage industries. What is Hazer's offering for the sector?
Well, Hazer is developing the Hazer Process, and we're classified as a methane pyrolysis technology. So we take methane, which could come from natural gas or biogas, and we split it into hydrogen and solid carbon, graphite in our case. So we produce two potentially saleable products, a low emission clean hydrogen and a graphite. And that graphite can be used in manufacturing, for making electrodes, for making battery materials, for advanced building materials, and advanced applications in areas like water treatment. So we create two products, both of which have got great sustainable credentials, and both of which are going to be in demand in the 21st century.
And how will the low-cost clean hydrogen from Hazer Process contribute towards the Australian vision of producing hydrogen below $2 per kilogram?
Well, our technology, like most technologies, needs to come down in cost to reach that target. That's very much a target for what's going to take this transition forward over the next 10, 20 and 30 years. So we're a form of low emission hydrogen production that uses gas as its starting point, whether it's biogas or natural gas, as against green hydrogen, which typically uses wind and solar and water to make hydrogen from electrolysis. So we're a really complementary technology to that sort of push for large-scale electrolysis projects. We're a way of actually producing hydrogen with low emissions in places that aren't able to access the kind of renewable resources needed for green hydrogen, or in sectors where there's waste gas already being produced, which we have to find some way of disposing of without creating harm. And we think it's a great idea to turn that waste gas into two useful products rather than into a carbon waste.
And just back in March, Hazer reported that the company had started site works at the Hazer Commercial Demonstration Project. Any update on the commercial plant, and how soon can we anticipate the start of operations there?
Well, the project's continuing to progress according to schedule. We're still finalising the detailed design and procurement. We've completed the site civil preparation works and we'll be moving into construction and installation over the next quarter. We're targeting a start-up at the end of 2021, so we're targeting to start commissioning in December this year. That's a significant challenge in the COVID environment, but the team's doing everything it can to stay on track. And we're having to work with all our various suppliers and fabricators to make sure that all the pieces arrive when intended from the various countries they're manufactured in.
And the proprietary process allows Hazer to either license its technology to others or produce hydrogen and graphite itself. What is your commercialization strategy for the Hazer process?
Well, at this stage, we're focused on proving that our technology can scale up and show that as we come up in plant capacity, we'll come down in production cost. And that's typical of all process technologies, whether that was LNG, whether it was an oil refinery, or whether it was a chemicals plant. So for in the short, medium term, we're focused on making the demonstration plant operate to show that the transition to scaled up technology is well underway. And then we're looking to secure the first one or two larger commercial sites, which will start producing revenue and build us a base for selling our graphite product. So in the near term, we're likely to be a joint venture or co-owner. In the longer term, we could either own and operate or license, and we'll explore both business models depending which country we're working in and what partners we're working with.
Excellent. And an innovative and trending sector like the one you operate in often does grab attention. Has Hazer received interest from other conglomerates and government institutions to successfully implement Hazer's expertise in the hydrogen and graphite sectors?
Well, we've been very pleased and fortunate for the support of the Australian government, both through a grant from ARENA, the Australian Renewable Energy Agency, which was instrumental to securing the funding package for the Hazer commercial demonstration plant. We're seeing enormous interest in our technology from big corporates overseas, across Europe, Asia and North America. And what we're really seeing is that these partners really understand electrolysis and green hydrogen. They really understand the existing steam methane reforming technologies. And they're really saying, we know there needs to be something in the middle to complement the full picture, something, a technology such as ours, a methane pyrolysis or other low emission, energy efficient form of technology. So we're really pleased to see that interest start to mature. We are under confidentiality with a range of potential project partners, and they're all doing technical due diligence on our technology and watching the progress of our CDP, our commercial demonstration plant, with interest.
And how do you see your company positioned amongst its global and Australian peers to create value for investors?
Well, we think we've got a technology which is really going to be needed by the market. We think that there's enormous potential to add value to our graphite as a niche product maker, making really specialist, high value, low emission graphites. We see a real need for producing low emission hydrogen in big industrial settings, often where there is sort of available gas or gas that needs to be disposed of. We see an enormous opportunity to use biogas, gas from landfill and wastewater treatment plants to produce hydrogen for local transport and graphite for local industry. So we see that we fit in so well with a number of key drivers for this sector. I think the other thing we see is that our technology is one of the most advanced pyrolysis technologies. It's an area that's been studied for a number of years by universities around the world. But the general consensus seems to be that ours is one of the most advanced examples of the technology, and we hope we can stay at the front of that race.
And Geoff, where would you like to see the company in 12 months from now?
Well, 12 months from now, I look forward to the demonstration plant operating and showing that we're able to take this technology into sort of an industrial setting and operate it on a continuous basis. I hope that we've secured the first one or two feasibility studies for larger scale, fully commercial sites, and I hope we're advancing through permitting and early stage engineering of those projects.
And any final thoughts you'd like to share with our audience here at 𝐊𝐿𝐼?
Not today, thanks Rachel. Just encourage everyone to keep watching the sector, because I think we're at the start of a multi-decade investment wave, similar to what we saw in wind and solar, 10, 15 years ago.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Geoff. It absolutely is a very interesting sector to keep our eyes on. And with that, I'll sign off for today. Watch this space for more. Till then, stay apprised and invest wise with 𝐊𝐴.